Hello, everybody. So we just had May 4th, May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day, as they call it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Star Wars with you guys. It's a very important topic to me. I grew up watching Star Wars. It's a childhood cherishment of mine, and I love Star Wars. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I love it. I love the video games. I love the movies. I love the TV shows. Everything. Just everything about it. The novels and expanded universe stuff outside of the video games, it's hit or miss. There's some I really like, there's some I don't. But that's okay. It's very vast in the expanded universe, so you have to pick and choose to an extent. But most of the main stuff in video games and movies, I'm in love with it. I love it. And that brings me to the topic that I want to talk about, which is Battlefront. You know, I know Battlefront is a very, very beloved game to a lot of people, but it's as a PC Star Wars game player, I wasn't a big fan of Battlefront. I really wasn't. You know, coming from Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy, which are really, really good Star Wars multiplayer games, and then playing Rogue Leader on the GameCube and among other things, Force Commander or Empire at War on the PC as well. There's so many good Star Wars games that when Battlefront came out, back when it first came out, Battlefront 1 and 2, the concept seemed really neat and nice, but it just felt really clunky. I mean, and you might blame this on, oh, well, the controls weren't as good at the time. No, don't give me that junk. There's plenty of other games in that style in that time period that played just fine. Battlefield 1942, Jedi Outcast, like I said. Even the original Quake has more smooth controls than freaking Battlefront and Battlefront 2. So I didn't really like the controls. It felt like they just did a port of the console version onto the PC, and it was really hard to play. I tried going back to it now when I'm a little more lenient about my opinions of games, and I still couldn't sit through it. I just think it was very frustrating. So I don't understand the love for it. The concept and the style and the theming and the things that you can do in the game, yeah, they're fun. But it's really, really bogged down by the fact that the game is hard to play, in my opinion. I can't play it. Even with the controller, I couldn't play it. I just don't like it. But that's me. That being said, the new Battlefront, I was really excited when I found out they were making it. Because, you know, I know it's going to control more like more modern games, so it's going to be easier to control and more fluid and less clunky. And being made by DICE, whatever you may think of the business practices that have been going on with their games due to EA and them, and whatever launch glitches they may have, overall the production quality of their games they've made are pretty good. Battlefield 4 and 3, whatever you may think about it, whatever I may think about it, good and bad, the production quality of the game itself is pretty good. They're beautiful games with good features and overall good game style. Whether you like the maps or not, or the DLC format, whatever, is another story. Point being, that made me excited about Battlefront, because I know that same type of love and care in the production quality is going to go into Battlefront. So I've been really excited, getting ready to reserve it, and I'm being very picky about what I reserve and pre-order these days. But then something happened, and I found out a piece of news that came out, very blatant piece of news that came out that made me completely lose interest. The guys who are making it straight up said there are no plans and don't expect to get any prequel stuff in Battlefront. And I think about that. No prequel stuff in Battlefront. Why? Now, whatever you may think about the prequel movies, you may love them, you may hate them. I personally love the episode 2 and 3. I'm okay about 1. I didn't like 1 too much. I liked it as a kid. I don't like it now. But there's one thing you can't deny. Something in the prequel series is very important from a gameplay standpoint, which is the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars has the most intense, varied, amazing battle scenarios in the whole entire Star Wars series. You can't deny that. And if you're denying that, you're kidding yourself. You are insane. Forgive me for the viewers that watch this and feel insulted by that, but the fact is you are crazy for thinking that. It doesn't make sense. It's a war. The whole entire storyline of that is revolving around a war between the droids, the clones, and Jedi. A mass of Jedi. You can't do as much with good combat as you can with the original trilogy, because the original trilogy is mostly a ragtag group of rebels trying to fight against a very organized empire, which is a result of the Clone Wars, by the way. So that being said, from that standpoint, like I said, whatever opinion you may have to think of the actual movies and stuff, the battles are going to be most amazing from the prequel trilogy. Now the new trilogy may establish some new stuff that may change that. That's true, but that's future. I don't know about that. I'm talking about what we have right now. So when I found that out, I was really disappointed because some of my favorite battles and some of the best battle sequences I like, and some of the best vehicles, some of the best things that happen, are in the Clone Wars time period. And when they said that that's not going to happen, I said, forget it. I don't even care anymore. I have no interest in it. It's not the DLC issue. It's not the fact that they're only having 12 maps at launch. You know, it's not even that they don't have space combat. And that's another issue I'll bring up. But the one that killed it for me, no Clone Wars era stuff. Lost interest. I don't even want anything to do with the game. And you know what? I might get it when it's like $10 or $5 as like a Game of the Year collection with all of the, or a Ultimate Edition with all of the DLC. But as it stands, I'm not spending a dime on that for full price game because that's ridiculous. It's funny because most of the games that Star Wars games that I played that I liked, the only ones that I like that are based around the original trilogy are the ones that have really good stories. Because frankly speaking, usually the combat's not that good. It isn't. There's only like 2 Star Wars games I can think of in the original trilogy sequence that actually I thought were really good, which was the Jedi Knight series, because it had a really good story development. Kyle Katarn was a really fun character to play. And Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2, which was really good too, but that's because it just did a really good job of capturing the flight sim style into a more console-friendly environment. And don't get me wrong, the space combat can be fun. It's a very different type of space combat between original trilogy and new trilogy. Or prequel trilogy, I mean. But the fact is that overall, there's a lot more interesting things you can do with combat in the prequel trilogy, and they're missing something big out of it. And there's a lot of people that I know that aren't going to play it because of that. But even if you forget about that, the space battles. Now, space battles is a staple of the series. They say they want to go back to the roots of the game, but they're taking out a staple of the series. How does that make sense? Explain that to me. And they even said that they're not going to do space battles, don't expect it in an upcoming DLC or anything like that. It's Star Wars. It's a freaking game called Star Wars. Stars are in space. War is in space. And you're not going to have space battles in a game that's about a series with a title that revolves around the concept of space. Explain that to me, guys. Please, I'd love to hear it. So that actually makes me really upset. Obviously, you can tell. And there's only one game in the freaking series that doesn't have space battles. That's the original. Battlefront 2, every single other Battlefront that came after that has space battles. So it is a staple in the series. And they're removing it. So those 2 things are the reason why I'm not going to follow Battlefront. DLC, I could care less. If I don't approve of DLC, I won't spend the money on it. Battlefield 3, I loved. But I didn't buy the DLC because I didn't want to support that. Battlefield 4, I have. Not buying any DLC because I don't want to support that. I'm going to be getting Evolve relatively soon. I'm not going to spend a dime on DLC because I don't want to support that. And that's my way of showing developers I still like your game, but I don't like your business practices, so I'm not going to support that side of it. Simple as that. So, but Battlefront, I'm not going to support at all. And that's where we stand. If you agree or you disagree with me, please let me know. This is open to discussion. Even though I feel strongly about this, I respect your opinion. And I welcome your opinion. So please, let me know what you think. If you think I'm being stupid for what I say, or if you actually think I'm making sense. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed the week. I know Avengers came out last week, and then this week had Star Wars Day in it, so I'm sure some of you might have had fun. And hope you guys are looking forward to episode 7, because I sure as heck am. But unfortunately, I'm not looking forward to Battlefront. If you are, more power to you. Entertainment is for fun, and if you have fun, that's all that matters. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you around. Bye.